According to a newly unsealed affidavit, surveillance video shows murder suspect Michael McKee arriving at Monique and Spencer Tepe's home on December 6th while the couple was out of state. Remember, Monique was his ex-wife? And police say the video shows McKee entering the curtilage of the home, the area immediately surrounding a house like the yard, the porch, or driveway. Trust me, I don't even think I've ever said that word before, but anyway. Investigators say McKee didn't leave the property until a few hours later. Where were the Tepes? That same night, they were in Indiana at the Big Ten championship game with several other couples. Now, here's the thing. Monique left the game during halftime and went back to her hotel. Court records say Spencer told friends that Monique was upset about something involving her ex-husband. And here's why that stands out. Monique and Michael McKee had been divorced for nearly a decade at this point. And the new court documents also say friends and family told detectives that Monique described McKee as abusive both during and after their marriage. One witness alleged that McKee had forced unwanted sex and strangled Monique. Witnesses told investigators McKee made chilling threats that he could kill her at any time, that he would find her and he would buy the house next door, that she would always be his wife. Now, the affidavit also details how McKee allegedly used different license plates from Ohio and Arizona on his SUV that was linked to McKee's work address. Also, how about this? Court docs also say McKee allegedly left his phone at the hospital where he works in Illinois on December 29th and didn't retrieve it for roughly 17 hours on December 30th, critical time. Now, that gap, investigators say, overlaps with the window in which Monique and Spencer Tepe were killed, while their children were asleep in the next room. Now, McKee has pleaded not guilty to multiple counts of aggravated murder and aggravated battery. He's being held without bond. But how bad is this for him? Let's bring in Rich Schoenstein, trial lawyer, legal analyst, hair aficionado. Great to see you. As always, this feels really bad. If they have him on tape outside that house weeks before, they just present that to the jury and be like, you want to go to deliberations now?
Yeah, it sounds pretty bad. I mean, look, I'm going to always hit you with he's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
This is just stuff that we see in a probable cause affidavit. We don't know that it's true. We don't know that they have the evidence to back this up. But if it is true, if he did go to Columbus, and think about that, he went from Illinois to Columbus on December 6th, the same day the Tepes went from Columbus to Indiana, to Indianapolis, to see the Big Ten championship game. So they missed each other. And one question I have is, was that the date he was planning to commit those murders, or was he casing the place out? Like, did he know they would be away, or was he going there on the 6th to do what it is alleged he eventually did?
I was throwing in the alleged. You did it before I did. Here's the question. If they were recently separated and were sharing a property and she moved in with somebody else, there'd be an argument why he was at the house. They've been divorced for so long. If they can place him in the area, and I was always wondering at the beginning, what's the evidence they have? Well, they said they can track his car from the crime scene all the way back to Illinois. They said they found a weapon at his house that was linked to the killings. Now they're adding this. For a defense attorney, I'm having trouble. What would be a reasonable explanation for why he would be there?
Yeah, I don't think the defense would be founded on a reasonable explanation for him being at the house, especially twice, like on December 6th and then a few weeks later, the date that they're killed. I don't think you're going to have a reasonable explanation. You're going to have to fend off the evidence and the proof that he was there, and you're going to have to put the prosecution to the test of proving their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
So in other words, attack the investigation in any which way that you can. A lot of people would refer to, right, the Karen Reed defense. In fact, but that's a legitimate argument. Put the prosecution to their burden. There's just other aspects of this that are so strange. I mean, if they can show that he left his phone for all those hours at that critical time period, comparing it to another case, the Brian Kohberger case, right?
Yeah.
They said, well, there was this period of time when you couldn't track his cell phone location because he purposely left it. That's something that prosecutors are going to hit.
Yeah, the prosecutors are going to say nobody goes on a 17-hour car ride without their cell phone.
Because you could track the phone.
Right. So he leaves it there on purpose, so it can't be tracked. We also hear in this affidavit there were multiple license plates used.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of planning, a whole lot of premeditation if you're trying to prove premeditated first-degree murder.
What do you make of these alleged comments that were made that she was at the game, got upset, left, her husband was like, she's having a problem with the ex-husband. You're hearing these comments that he allegedly made threats to her. how much of all of that is going to actually be part of a criminal trial?
That's going to be an area that a defense lawyer, and by the way, he has an excellent, excellent lawyer in Columbus, Diane Menashe.
She's amazing.
She is amazing, and so he's done very well in terms of getting a lawyer. But you're going to fight to keep those statements out of evidence. They don't prove anything. You can't prove that he killed her on December 30th or whatever the date was, because 3 weeks ago she said she was scared about him, and that's prejudicial and not necessarily probative. So there's going to be a fight, except if she said it the same night he's allegedly at the house the first time. That kind of connects it in a way that I think increases the likelihood that her statements could come in as evidence. But that'll be a big fight at trial.
And I would just say, just to couple this, if anybody is interested in learning a little bit more about this, look up Diane Menashe, see how many times she's gotten not guilty in very high-profile cases, high-profile murder cases. It's pretty impressive, to say the least, but you know, as an attorney, you're only as good as what you're handed. So you either argue the facts, the law, the evidence, right? So yeah, it's tough.
You're stuck with the facts, you're stuck with the witnesses, you're stuck with a lot of things.
Rick Schoenstein, so good seeing you. Thanks
Great
for coming
to be here.
Appreciate it. Thanks for staying late. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Awesome.